Hey everybody, welcome to today's lesson on how we actually make money trading. I am Sami Abusaad, Director of Education at T3 Live. I have a lesson prepared for you, but I also have an incredible idea that I want to share with you at the end of the lesson. So make sure to stick around. Also be sure to click on the like button if you find benefit in this video and like it. Be sure to check out the links in the description of the video. And with that said, let's get started. How we make money as professional traders, the math behind the profits. It's all about risk. I've taught this lesson before in the past, and I thought I would share it with you because lately I've been finding this low risk, high reward setup, and we've been taking advantage of it in the strategic day trader room on a daily basis, every single day. In fact, one of the room members has created a scan for it, and it's been making money every single day. Let me read the quote for you first. Often the difference between a successful person and a failure is not that one has better abilities or ideas, but the courage that one has to bet on one's ideas, to take a calculated risk, which is what I do as a trader, right? And to act and to pull the trigger. So this is a simple concept. To tell you the truth, when it comes to trading, there are only very few elements or very few items that affect the bottom line, and this is one of them, which is the Sharpe ratio. Let's take a look at this example. Bob and Sally both enter trades in the morning and sell in the afternoon. Bob buys a stock at 22.45 and sells at 22.95 for a 50-cent profit. Sally buys at 33.55, sells at 33.85 for a 30-cent profit. Now, who made more money? Here's some potential answers for you. Bob made over 2.5 times more money, right? Bob made 1.6 times more money, made 50 cents versus 30 cents for Sally. Sally makes more money because she's a woman, of course. That can always be possible. D, depends on their account size. Or E, can't tell from this information. What do you guys think? Feel free to type in the comments section the answer. And the answer is can't tell. What matters is how many shares each bought, right? Obviously, you all knew that. But let's say they each bought 1,000 shares. And the question is, who had the better trade? Well, Bob, because he made $500. Sally, because she had a higher price stock. Sally, again, because she's a woman. Can't tell from the information. And the answer is can't tell from the information. The question was not who made more money. The question was who had a better trade. You might be wondering, well, when is making $300 ever better than making $500? And the answer is, well, it depends. Would you rather jump off of your coffee table for $300 or jump off your roof for $500? Borrow $300 from your bank or borrow $500 from a loan shark? Earn $300 working a Saturday at your job or earn $500 capturing Wally the alligator that's running loose in the mall? So you get the point. It's all about risk. The missing component was risk. What if in order to make his $500, Bob was willing to give up $1,500 to make the trade work? What if he risked basically $1,500 to make 500? What if he was willing to do that because the trade he takes requires that much risk to work consistently? What if Sally was only willing to risk $150 to make the trade work? What if she only needed to risk that much because that was what was normally needed to make the trade work? What if Sally's trade works 60% of the time while Bob's works 30% of the time? Now, who has the better trade? So I go into the math here, but I'm not going to go over it. But if we were to say that they both risked, let's say $500, then Sally would end up with $750 profit, which is 1.5 times what Bob would have ended up with, which was $500. So the point of this is to tell you that it's all about the risk. And as professional traders, risk management is job number one, always. If I don't have control over, or if I feel like I don't have control over the stock that I'm trading, let's say it wasn't liquid enough or it was jumpy, then I wouldn't even touch it, no matter how good the setup is. I sometimes make exceptions, but it's rare. Most of the time, I stick to really liquid stocks that are non-spready, non-jumpy. And today, I'd like to share with you one idea that's been working phenomenally in the strategic day trader room almost every single day. Um, okay, so the idea is these 1 cent bases. So I find a lot of these 1 cent bases. Sometimes, you might think, well, in this case, or 1, 2 cents sometimes. See this on the IGT short. You can see it on the 15-minute chart also. And then 1, 2, 3. I mentioned it in the black room, and it fell apart. So this is from today. I don't know if I think I took, I had a partial fill on it, but let me just take a look. IGT made 169 bucks. No biggie, right? But okay. By the way, $3,000 today. Thank you very much. Right? Very nice. Okay, let's take a look at the REZI, which was another trade. Didn't make a ton of money, but take a look. The biggest moves often come from the smallest bars. This is the law of trading, so to speak. BBTH, some of you are familiar, saw that today, the crazy stock. We had a move from $2 to $73 in just a few days. Where did it come from? Probably the smallest base, the smallest bar you'll ever see on the chart, right? On the weekly chart. Daily, same thing. Look at the size of the base. Look how tight it is. It's like a balloon. Or anything that you pressure, the more it's pressured, the stronger the explosion once it pops, right? So I find all these 1 penny bases, BKS, which was my biggest trade today, and really liquid stocks. I don't do this on illiquid or spready stocks. And then what's my risk when it's a 1 penny base? I buy it if the offer is exceeded, 498 by 1 cent. 1, 2, 3 maybe if I get filled at 99 or if I get filled at $5, could be a 3 cent risk. And all the stock needs to do is pop that 10 cents or 13 cents for me to make really good money. Why? Again, because I'm risking very little, I can have a lot of shares. And again, I only do this on really liquid, non-spready, non-jumpy stocks. BKS, 1,800 bucks today. But today I didn't really find a lot of great ideas with that 1 cent base. Let's take a look. Today, what's today? Today is Wednesday, Thursday, the 7th. Let's take a look at the last few days because again, we've been finding this every single day. So here's yesterday's. CHS, best trade of the day yesterday. In fact, without it, I would have been down on the day, right? So that's CHS from yesterday's list. So I just want to show you, just so and this was a trade in the room and a lot of people took it twice. The second time, it was tough to get filled on. It was a circuit breaker stock. So with that drop, it had dropped more than 10%, so it was on an uptick. But let me show you the morning trade, okay? You're just hold on to your chair because these 1 cent bases, but I'd have to go back to yesterday's bar. Here it is. Check this out. Look at this, guys. It went sideways in a 1 cent base for how long? Look at this. And then another base, and then a breakdown. And this was the trade that we took in the room. I covered at 61. So somewhere here. As soon as the offer, oh no, somewhere here. As soon as the offer got taken out, I'm sorry, this is where I covered. 61 is where I got filled. As soon as the offer got taken out, I exited. So that's the beauty. A lot of people took it, and some people took it as a day trade, not just as a scalp, and kept it, and it worked nicely. Then check this out. Popped really hard, and then another 1 cent base. But I did the first one. Second one was hard to get filled on. And take a look at the drop. Pretty nice, isn't it? 20 cents or something like this. 72 by 73 to 47. So 20-cent drop just like that, at least, on a 1 cent base. That is low risk, high reward. Okay, and not only the no, not yesterday's, not today. I was going to show you today's P&L. We already talked about it. Here's yesterday's. What else was a 1 cent base that I took? I don't see any. I know the UNFI was mentioned by Stan in the room, who's a very valued room member with me, who has actually developed a scan for this. Check this out. 1 cent base, and look at that beautiful drop. He also mentioned the EAF in the room. Look at that 1 cent base and a nice drop, right? EAF. I didn't take it. I don't trade anything um, that I don't love, absolutely love. Didn't love this, was down a lot, but worked. See this? And then how about here? Check this out. The day before, it was a 15-minute sell setup, 1 cent base, and look at the drop. Just look at that drop. Isn't that a beauty? So that was just from the day yesterday. How about the day before that? That was my birthday, March 5th. I've been MIA the last week and a half because I had to teach the mentorship class where I traded live in person with 9 other traders for the whole week last week. Had a great time, made money every single day. And this day, Adams was done in the room as a trade. But this was a gap trade. It wasn't a 1 cent base, I don't think. DF was a 1 cent base. So take a look. This was the 5th, I believe. So that was the 6th. Check this out. Oh, geez. Look at these 1 cent bases. And then a drop, a drop, a drop. See this? Amazing, isn't it? And yesterday, I think it made money also. The 6th. Let's take a look. DF. No, yesterday I didn't make money from the DF. But the day before, I'm just going to go to the 5-minute chart instead of the 1 minute. Just look at the beauty. Beautiful, isn't it? 1 cent basis. Now this stock didn't move a whole lot, but you can often get a lot of shares as long as it's a liquid stock, and I only do it if I have if I see an imbalance on the level 2. For example, I don't think I'm going to be able to show you here, but basically, if there's a lot of offers and a weak bid, so if the offers are stacked, a lot of offers, instead of 200 shares, in the after hours you can't see it, but in real time you can. Let's say there was 20,000 shares versus 2,000 shares on the bid. Does that make sense? So I only do it when there's an imbalance, and oftentimes I do it. I like to play to the downside, but it works both ways. XON was a long, right? ENDP was a long. HTZ was a gap trade at the open. Adams was a gap trade at the open, and DF was a 1 cent base. That was on the 5th. How about the 4th? This was the 4th. XON, let's take a look at it. The biggest trade. Probably, I don't really remember, but I know XON made money probably 3 days in a row or so after the gap. So XON from the 4th, right? So this is the 5th. Just check this out. Look at this 1 cent base and then the drop at the end of the day. 1 cent base, nice drop. How liquid was this? 10 million shares on the 4th. No, this is the 1st. The 4th, it did 12 million. The 1st, it did 14. Let's take a look at the 1st, actually. This is the P&L from the 1st. Is that the 1st? XON, here it is. Not much on the 1st. Is that right? Is that the 1st? Yeah, not much from the 1st. Is there anything else? How about the IMGN? Low price but really high volume, high liquid stock. Probably was a 1 cent base. The point is, just wanted to share with you. I know I made money every single day for I don't know how many days. I don't like to jinx myself, so I don't even like to count. But I know at the mentorship last week, every single day, and this week every single day. This week not as easy as last week, but today I was actually struggling today with the KR, and then but turned it around at the end of the day. So ended up with 485 on it. Again, just consider that idea in your trading going forward. How about wanted to show you this OCBC or what was it? It was ORBC from the 28th. Let's take a look at it. 28th. Just open the 28th. ORBC. Not the best trade, second best trade that day. And let me show you the play. Okay. It was a 15-minute sell setup with a 1 cent base. How about that? This was last week with 9 students watching me trading live. ORBC. 15-minute sell setup. Does that, if you're in the strategic day trader room with me, does that remind you of anything from yesterday? I didn't do it because it was a secondary. That's why I didn't do it. I just remembered because it was a secondary gap, secondary offering. EAF. Very similar. Very similar. 1 cent base and then another 1 cent bar here and then a big drop, right? So the ORBC was it ORBC? Let's see, ORBC from a couple days ago, from last week, 1 cent base and then a big drop. And then the day before that, I remember I did the MYL. I think it was the day before, the 27th. Let me show you the P&L for the 27th. Notice how I have, here it is. I have P&L for every day, right? So I'm just going day by day, day by day. So the MYL, 3,900 bucks. Take a look. It wasn't a 1 cent base, but it's the same setup, same exact 15-minute sell setup. So here's the base, the tight base, short, and then another base, and then add and reduce. This was done again live in the room, but also live with the students because I was teaching and trading live during the mentorship course, in the mentorship class. Beautiful trade, wasn't it? So again, it's all about risk to reward. That was the entry. Stop right here. That is tight, small risk, nice reward. So low risk, high reward is what wins it at the end of the day. Now, a lot of people can tout 50, I mean, a 70, 80, 90% batting average. First, they're fake. I don't know of anybody that has an 80, 90% batting average. If you look at my P&Ls and I show you P&Ls, unlike everybody else, not everybody, some people do, but the vast majority of fake traders don't show their P&Ls because they're fake. So they tout 80, 90% batting average. I think when I first got involved in trading, I used to get all these emails that say something like, we are right 97% of the time, 98% of the time. It's insane, crazy. But they tout these high success rate, high batting average, which is totally fake, but let's just say, not knowing that what trading is all about, it's about risk to reward, risk management. So if you can keep your risk low and have a really high reward to risk ratio, then that's all you need. You don't need a 90% win rate or 80% win rate. It's not achievable anyway, right? It's not achievable anyway. Notice a rare exception, and that's because I was teaching and I had pretty big size in HPQ, 13,000 shares, and it popped and I wasn't paying attention. Otherwise, I was actually up almost $6,000 that day. That was actually at the mentorship. Notice I don't have 100%, 70%, probably just, I know what my batting average is. It's 57.5%. So, okay, I have just about a 60% batting average, but that's all you need to have really nice P&Ls like this. You don't need 100%, I mean a 90% batting average. Again, it's not, I don't know of anybody that, a real trader that is. that has that kind of batting average, but you don't even need that. Just all you need is to focus on your risk to reward. And lately, this 1 cent base, this one cent stop or 1 cent basis, the setup has been very prevalent. So highly encourage you to look for it. If you join the room, we have somebody that scans for it. I scan for it, and it's something that we play almost every single day. So if you're interested, just check out the link in the description, uh, and I hope to see you there. At any rate, I hope you enjoyed today's video, and we'll talk again soon. Take care, everybody, and be sure to hit that like button if you found benefit in today's video. Have a good night.